Night of the Demon.
I've heard of that before, yeah.
In my opinion, it's the greatest Bigfoot movie of all time.
Okay, I haven't heard of this then before.
Mainly because it features a scene where a Bigfoot rips off a guy's wiener. But it's never been released.
Watch the language. Wiener?
Yeah, I'm 12 years old.
His fucking dork got ripped off. We are live.
Tech diffs. Live.
There we go.
Come on.
Don't you fuck with me. Or do you? So this is the 54th edition of Buddy Shotz, starring me, Matt, and me, Mike.
Me, Mike.
Yep. And we are remote today, but we still have a legit-ass show for you. So don't you worry about that. Or do.
Better be.
You better be worried. Let's see here.
Better watch your ass.
Yeah, if you ever hear anybody say that, then it's time to get the fuck out. Because Mr. Jimmy Cameron screwed us.
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Good.
Let's get some intro banter out of the way here. This weekend's... What'd you say?
Chinatown.
This weekend's a big weekend for the Bengals.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Friday night's a great night for football.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So,
Gonna be a hell of a fight.
yeah. Saturday night's a great night for football.
Yep.
Not Friday. Friday is still a great night. So who do you want to lose? And who do you, obviously the Bengals you want to win, but there are other teams I'm assuming that you probably want to choke.
I want the Bengals to win.
Yes.
And I want every other team to lose.
That's impossible.
For the win.
No, every other
The ultimate win.
Yeah, it's impossible. The Bengals winning is possible, but not every team losing, because there has to be a winner. So, I just stumped him. He doesn't know. He doesn't know who wants to win. Who the frig is it? So
it's like Aliens versus Predator. Whoever wins, we lose.
That's true. If the Bengals win, you lose. Wait. What? The team that you wanted to win for 50 years before you were born. So, I guess enough of that me trying to relate bullshit. Let's get on to the nerd news. Or as we say, or as we say, bullshit. I'm sure this is the part of the podcast people skip, but
this is the highlight.
Well, then you might as well just tune out now, because it's going to go nowhere but down the shitter. Okay, so last week you said you didn't have any news, right?
Yeah, I was a bad buddy.
But this week, you're a Bengals buddy.
I'm a good buddy.
Yeah. You're the best buddy. You're the best buy. You're the buddy, you're the boy. So what's your news?
All right, so I got some pretty awesome news this week.
You nerd.
Because Severin Films has announced a new release next month.
Of Nosferatu and Venice 2. No.
For a movie, I'm not sure if you've seen it, Night of the Demon.
I've heard of that before, yeah.
In my opinion, it's the greatest Bigfoot movie of all time.
Okay, I haven't heard of this then before.
Mainly because it features a scene where a Bigfoot rips off a guy's wiener. But it's never been released.
Watch the language. Wiener?
Yeah, I'm 12 years old.
His fucking dork got ripped off. Oh,
Just
man.
meat and two veg.
He's fucking his main vein got fucking rearranged.
But it's an awesome movie. I actually got a bootleg DVD at one of the conventions we went to one time.
Oh,
But it's never been released in like any kind of good format.
how did it just look like? Not that great, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks like it looks horrible.
Yeah.
But Severance doing it up because they're giving it a special edition, so it's actually getting a 2-disc release. And the first disc has all kinds of stuff about Night of the Demon, and the second disc is like has all kinds of content about just Bigfoot movies in general.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at it right now. Cryptid Currency, Transgression, Aggression, in Bigfoot Cinema. There's Tales from the Cryptid, interview with Stephen Bissett, co-author of Cryptid Cinema. There's like all kinds of stuff on here for like cryptid stuff, which is legit. The thumbnail for the trailer is literally some dude's like zipping up, or he's got his dick out, and it's like bloody. So,
but the best part is I put in a pre-order for each of us. So.
Oh, holy shit, dude! Nice.
Yeah, man. We'll have to.
When's this come
do
out?
an episode sometime next month.
Oh man, dude, this is legit. That's awesome. Holy crap!
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, I can't wait to, because I think the thing I was thinking of was like another movie called like something Demon.
I think there's several movies called Night of the Demon, but
yeah,
this is the best.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. That's awesome. That might even be a recommendation nation, the same week that we watch it.
I think it will be.
Have we ever done that before? Recommended the movie we watch? Nah, probably not. It's kind of a cop-out. That's awesome. That's probably the highlight as far as... I think you're right. I think that was the highlight. Okay, pack it in, everybody.
Great nerd news.
Yeah. Are you news and nerd? So, I don't really have anything that's super great this week. I have a tiny one, and then I have an actual one. This one, I just found out that Dog the Bounty Hunter is developing his own series of video games.
What could go wrong?
10 years after the fact of that show being popular, if you could call it that. Yeah. I saw that today and was like, what? But the first idea involves proposed Indiana Jones 3 that I remember you had talked about this before, how like the original at some point was like a haunted house movie.
Yes.
So I don't know if they've ever talked about this before, but there was like a second idea that was thrown around. I don't know if you've heard of this before. Have you heard of a second, like something completely different? Or no?
Nothing's coming to mind.
Okay.
No.
So, like, apparently, like, this is the first time I'd ever heard this, because you had talked about the haunted house idea, and I guess it was something that George Lucas and them wanted to do for possibly the second one, but it was eventually dropped, and then they just relegated it to, like, a tiny possible part in the third one, and it wasn't even a haunted thing, it was just, like, a castle. But, like, I guess the second idea was to have, like, Indiana Jones searching for the lost city of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. And it started like in a haunted castle in the opening sequence, and it got like so far in development that like they even hired like people to write a script for it, like Christopher Columbus. And like the script revolved like Indy racing against the Nazis through Africa in search of the Garden of Immortal Peaches, and the plot would eventually lead to the characters to the lost city of the Monkey King, where a battle between Indy, the Nazis, and an army of giant gorillas would ensue.
I mean, that sounds like the greatest movie ever made.
I was honestly like, dude, I kind of wish that they had made this instead of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because essentially, that's like the same thing that they kind of did, except for like, it was dog shit.
Sounds like Indiana Jones meets Congo.
Yeah, it was pretty legit. Like, but I guess it was supposed to be. Yeah, I was like, I'm a huge fan of that whole myth thing, so that would have been way cooler than the hodgepodge, or it would have been nice to see a new adventure. So I was kind of shocked because I had never heard that before. I'd heard the haunted house thing that you had brought up, and you know, people have talked about over the years, but this kind of came out of left field, and I was like, what the hell? So
every time I see a subpar Harrison Ford movie from like the 90s or 2000s, I always think like, man, he could have been making another Indiana Jones.
Which is
a waste.
Pretty frequent.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's just how it is. It sucks. But let's move on to
Recommendation nation.
Ah,
Ding ding ding.
hell yeah. So what do you recommendation? Or what do you
It's time.
what do you recommendation? What do you recommend to this nation?
My recommendation nation for this week is a documentary movie from mid 90s called Hands on a Hard Body. I just recently heard about this because I heard on a podcast Quentin Tarantino was talking about it, and he said it was one of his favorite movies.
I'm like, not true.
And it's not true.
Yeah.
Don't come. Not true.
Not true. Cool, go for it. Sorry.
But it's like, have you ever heard of a Hands on a Hard Body contest? It's a thing where like they would auction off a car and like have a bunch of contestants.
Oh, I've heard. Okay, yeah.
Put their hands on a car, and the last one to last man standing gets the car.
Right. Yeah, I've heard of that before. I didn't know that there was an actual term for it.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of a term for it. But so they just happened to film like a random contest in the 90s in Texas.
Yeah.
And like, it's so awesome because there's so much drama, and like the characters are better than anything you could write.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. And the contest lasts for like, I think 4 days, 70 or 80 hours. And like, people drop out for various reasons, like physically and mentally. And it's just highly entertaining and awesome.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So is this this is like a legit, like these are real people and stuff in this?
Oh yeah.
It's not like a recreation or anything?
Yeah, it's all real.
Interesting.
And they're in Texas, so you have like a lot of big Texas characters and like, weird people.
Yeah. Hands on a hard body.
I think it may have been released on VHS, but I watched it on YouTube. So
nice.
There's no real good release, I don't think.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it before. So
Me neither, but it sounded awesome. So
yeah, it's pretty legit. Hands on a hard body. I was like, what is this going to be about? Cool. Very interesting.
Yeah, if you like stuff like that, it's one of the best.
One of the best. So I have a recommendation that isn't real. I don't think it's a popular recommendation, but I've always been a fan of this, and I don't know if a lot of people are, but I've always been a fan of like the Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall like Popeye film.
Nice.
And I don't think it's kind of like, for me, like I really liked I don't like love it, but I definitely think it's worth a watch at least one time. Just because I think it's like the only live action Popeye film they've ever done, which I'm not like a huge Popeye fan, but like it's Robin Williams, like just being Robin Williams like as Popeye, like really, really well. Like I don't think they could have picked someone better to play a live action Popeye, in my opinion. But like, have you ever seen this film or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when I was a very little kid.
Right. It's not. I've seen it probably like 3 times, and I guess that sounds like I probably am a huge fan, but I'm not like, I don't like love it, but like every time I watch it all the way through. Like it's just kind of. It's probably because it's like a musical, and it's like essentially everything you need to like know if you're gonna be watch something about Popeye. Like it's just and I thought it was interesting because like I think this film gets like a lot of hate, like that one film with the Bee Gees does with the Beatles or whatever. Like the musical, and I've always been like a huge fan of that film. Like I always thought it was really good, but I think a lot of people.
Sgt. Pepper's?
Yes, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Like the film,
that movie's awesome.
I don't know. I know a lot of people like that are like Beatles fans, like are like diehards. I think they said that. Like I've heard people say they hated it, but I think that's also come back around. I think a lot of people see the merit in it. I mean, I thought it was legit, and it's just I don't know. But I think this movie kind of gets that way too, because I think a lot of times people either like or they don't like musicals. So if you're
that's why I'll need to go back and watch again.
Yeah,
it's like my dad rented it, and we watched it like at our old house, which is how long ago.
Oh wow, like your first house?
That was. Yeah.
Where you used to live
like
like
real
pretty
little
close
kids.
to this house.
Yeah.
And
So it's been a long time, and I remember not liking it, but I was probably like 7. So.
Well, it's like that's like what's it called? I remember the one time when I was little and Adam rented Willow, and I thought it was like the most boring fucking movie ever. And we watched it
and
again.
then we watched it last year, and you thought the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh well. But I think it was. I just didn't give it a chance. But this time I did give it a chance, and it was just like, okay, well, it's still like it's. I don't know. I think I give it too much shit. It's not like horrible, but it's still like, I don't know. It's slow in parts.
See our previous episode.
Yes, definitely.
I think Willow's awesome, but it definitely drags. There's no doubt.
Yeah. And it's funny because I don't find like the parts that people probably find stupid like boring. Like I don't find like the stuff with like Willow and the small people like boring. Like I think that's fine, you know, but it's just kind of like a bunch of other stuff. It's like, okay, get to the point here, guys. Wanting to see the Popeyes movie with Robin Williams. Yeah, that's pretty legit. I guess if you're a Popeyes fan, if there's anybody, or Popeyes, if you're a fan of the chicken restaurant,
delicious.
Don't watch this film. If there's anybody that's a fan of that restaurant. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything else to recommend this week. I only have one recommendation.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I thought so.
Good call.
So let's go on to, this was your pick. Weird watches. Kevin Costner in Yellowstone. My land, my rules.
No rules, just right.
My way, the highway.
When you're here, your family.
That is true, actually. This is a show that is on the Paramount Network, and it's still going. And they've even done they're going to be doing like you said, a prequel series. Called like 1888 or something like that. Something, I don't know. There's a different title to it as well, but like, this show stars Kevin Costner, and there's like a bunch of other people, but I really haven't heard of these people except for maybe Luke Grimes. But I'll go ahead and go through their names here: Wes Bentley, Kelly Riley, Luke Grimes, Cole Hauser, and Gil Birmingham. The series follows the conflicts along the shared borders of a large cattle ranch, an Indian reservation, Native American, and land developers. So, yeah.
There is a connection in the cast between Yellowstone and Chinatown.
Ah. Why don't you tell the folks at home?
I guess maybe one of the bad guys, like the guy who is on the golf course at the end.
Like the guy that's trying to move in to like develop stuff that like once they find out that he finds out that he's been like screwed, he's like, shit.
Yeah, that's Danny Houston, who his dad is John Houston, who's the old man in Chinatown.
And
there you go.
Angelica Houston was dating Jack Nicholson at the time. And when there's that part in Chinatown where he's like, "Are you sleeping with my daughter?" He could have been saying it to him.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
but John Houston is also the director of Maltese Falcon.
And he's dead. So that also goes into...
He's not 200 years old?
that also goes into this film where someone dies in the first episode. So it all comes full circle. Just like a Bigfoot ripping off a man's dork. So, yeah. This film... I say film, but I mean at this point, these pilots are films. They're like proof of concepts for shows. Which that's what a pilot is, but it's like, yeah. So this, I don't really remember. I think this was an hour and something. It was definitely like, it was as long
90
as
minutes.
Film. Yeah. So, well, I would say as long as a film, but I can't remember the last time we watched a film that was only 90 minutes on this podcast. Probably one of our older films, or older movies. Not like I hate that, but it really just depends. So, if you're like an animal lover, I don't know if you'd want to watch the first minute of this film or this show, because like a horse gets euthanized thanks to it being in a car crash. Well, it wasn't in one. Well, it was in one, but it wasn't like driving.
Wait, what? I thought the horse was driving the car.
Well, I mean, like, never mind. I don't know why I would have.
This pilot was bullshit.
The pilot was bullshit because he crashed.
I want to see a show about horses driving cars.
Wait, well, watch BoJack Horseman. I'm sure he drives. So anyway, yeah. So there's.
What'd you think?
I don't know. I had mixed feelings on this show. Like, I liked. So like my pros for this was I liked the setting. I felt it was shot like really, really well. Oh man, we just got a resubscription for 18 months. Subscribe. All driving horses need to be taken down. True.
I agree. Get them out of here.
Yeah. So thank you.
We'll clean them up.
Yurimatsu, aka our friend Kevin. I thought it was shot really well. It was nice to see Kevin Costner again.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
Because there was a time in our lifetimes where, like, for a few years he was like one of the top, if not the top, like. Hollywood
he was
actor.
like the dude that like he was in everything.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights. And, I don't know. One of the cons for me is like kind of not. It's like a half and half, and I can't really like. I feel bad even saying this, but like, I know you're supposed to like dislike the daughter because she's supposed to be like, you know, like that's how she's supposed to be. But I think she kind of treads into like more like get off the fucking TV. Like I didn't like her at all. Heat.
Yeah, I can see that. See that for sure.
Also, so like one of the other cons I had is like kind of like at the end of the first episode, I feel like things were kind of wrapped up for me. Like I felt like also like, did I really care about this super rich family trying to stop people from taking their thousands upon thousands of acres of land? You know what I mean? Like I was kind of just like there wasn't really a hook for me after the first episode. I felt like the first episode was like a really great film, and it was a really great like
a mini movie.
Yeah, and it was like a really good like thing, but like I don't feel like I need to watch any more of this. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's like a bad show at all. I just think that like there wasn't any reason for me to like keep coming back. Like I feel like as a show, this is probably like 100 times better than like a show like Longmire, because that show was like on USA and probably not shot as well as this. Like this, you can tell the money was put into this, like big time. But like Longmire actually had like a hook of like continual like things happening with like murders being solved each week, whereas like this,
this is definitely more of a soap opera.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm kind of like, I guess this definitely more than any other show we've watched so far definitely depends on whether or not you care about these characters in the first episode. And for me, I liked like Kevin Costner, but like I don't know if I'd really want to continue watching this show. But like I said, that doesn't mean that I like. It's weird. Like I said, I feel like this is like the only thing where I've watched where I was like, I could really just watch this one again and be fine as a movie. You know what I mean? Whereas like they obviously leave it open for more stuff because there's like how many seasons now? They're coming out with a 5th season, so they've been doing quite a lot of stuff with this show, and they're making a prequel. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it though. I mean, I liked, like I said, it definitely felt like quality, you know, like movie quality and stuff. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people probably like this show and will continue watching it. I mean, and maybe I'll get back into it at some point, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's enough for me to make me want to watch, to like bring me back for more. So we'll see.
Are you gonna keep watching it then?
Yeah, for sure. I was pretty into it. I mean, it's not the greatest show ever, but it's solid soap opera to me, which, you know, that's not a bad thing.
No, yeah, I mean that's essentially like.
And I was surprised. Yeah. I didn't realize it was like hard R.
Yeah, like
I thought it was like a family, you know, a show that grandparents would like, but like you know, like you said, it starts with a horse that's all ripped up.
It doesn't shock me really because a lot of shows that like I don't know, people get into that are kind of like you said, like old, like shows that like you said, like for family and older, like I guess like maybe like, you know, I mean, because like I think like when what is it, like 50 Shades of Grey came out, like the biggest buyers of that were like married women. And like this show I'm sure is the same way, because it's like, you know, it's that escapism. It's kind of like Sopranos or whatever. You know, you see this like in this show. I mean, Kevin Costner calls a guy a cocksucker. They say shut the fuck up to a dude. Like the son is, you know, okay, so like spoiler, but like the son is like, one of the sons is straight up murdered in this first episode, and like his like the guy that kills him is one of Kevin Costner's other sons, like I guess stepbrother, not stepbrother, but like brother-in-law, and then he kills him. So it's like, it definitely reminds me a lot of like Sons of Anarchy, kind of like, you know, that kind of shit's probably going to happen in this show, where there's going to be murders and all kinds of stuff will happen possibly. I don't think it'll be like that violent, but I think that like there's definitely like tensions run high in this show, but the only reason why I think I kind of didn't get as hooked, because like I didn't really get behind like the whole like, you know, these people are like super rich, so like there's no stakes in it for me. Like they already have everything, so they're just getting some stuff taken away from them when they have so much, so I don't really have an investment.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a way they're villains.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting.
So I guess you have to tell me about it, since I probably won't be watching anymore.
Will do.
So, I guess Matt's gonna keep watching it. I won't, but I do recommend at least watching the first episode, because you might see it differently than I did. And yeah.
Good call. See, we don't agree on everything.
Yeah, Matt's wrong sometimes.
Oh!
No, Matt's right all the time. Is that?
Right.
That's right.
Correct.
Correct. Not
true.
Just don't come. I just wanna watch Yellowstone. So yeah, it was a good pick though. And like I said, I might come back to it. It's like there's so many other things I'm kind of watching at the moment too. So
yeah, I hear you.
So yeah, this week I guess we're gonna move on to the weekly topic of the week. The weekly topic of the week, which is Chinatown.
WTOW.
Yep. WTF. OW. What the fuck OD? It's like, huh? So, this is another noir film, like crime thriller. I think the other one we did was the Maltese Falcon that I also... Did we do any... Have we done any other ones so far, or...?
Can you count the Lupin movie we watched?
Oh, yeah, I guess that was kind of a... That's like a... Yeah. It's like it's obviously like a crime thriller, but it's like a mystery... I don't know, it's more like a lighthearted, even though people die, but it's always like the bad guys that die, so... Even though the main guy is kind of a bad guy, but he's not. He's more like... It's like a Robin Hood, essentially, for like the New Age. The New Age outlaws! Suck it! So
and Tusk was a noir.
That's true. Yeah. It was
maybe not. Maybe
it
not.
was no. I will not watch it.
Jackie,
Jackie, talk a lot to chug-a-log, prick. So this film was directed by Roman Polanski, and this is like, I think, the only film that I've ever seen that he's ever directed.
Roman
Reigns. From a screenplay by Robert Towne, starring Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. The film was inspired by the California Water Wars. Water Wars! A series of disputes over Southern California water at the beginning of the 20th century, by which Los Angeles interests secured water rights in the Owens Valley. So, like, I guess apparently this film at one point got put in like the National Archives, so it's like one of those films that's always going to be like, what's it called, preserved. I mean, for my money, every film should be that way, but I think we both agree. Maybe not Suburban
Especially
Sasquatch.
the Star Wars special editions.
I agree. You should have the multi editions to add to your mission. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a noir film. So
I have a question, or maybe a prediction. Like, is this your new favorite movie?
No.
Okay. So I was watching it, I was like, this is all the stuff that's like right up Mike's alley.
What's your prediction?
Well, that was my prediction, and it didn't come true.
Actually. No, yeah, I feel weird about this, too, is like, I liked this.
It's all straight up private eye investigating.
Yeah.
Like your favorite genre.
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I felt like maybe, I mean, I feel bad for even saying this, but there were kind of times when I was a little bored watching this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it was never when, like, Jack Nicholson was the main focus of it. But, like, there were parts where, like, I mean, I guess he's in every single scene, but, like, but he's not, like, always, like, I don't know, I felt like there were parts when he's just kind of, like, rummaging through shit, and I was kind of like, ugh. I don't know, I guess that's the investigation part. I think I also, like, I read some stuff that, like, originally this film was supposed to have, Jack Nicholson giving narration.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, like, I really
think that would have been better?
I mean, I don't, I mean, it's one of those things where I don't have any, like, sentimental, like, attachment to this film. But, like, I do feel like it could have helped, personally. Because there were parts in this film where, like, especially at the beginning when, like, all kinds of shit's happening, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is there a mystery? And then you kind of find out, oh, like, this is what happened, and, which is fine, but it's like, I felt at the beginning, like, it wasn't super clear, like, to me at least, like, when he found out that a fake, like, Faye Dunaway hired him. Like, I had no clue that those were separate people at first, because she was, like, I guess I wasn't paying attention as much, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. But I had no clue, because she was like, oh, I didn't hire you, and then I was like, what the fuck's going on here? So, I don't know. Maybe my first viewing of this film was, like, a little weird or something.
Well, I think there's something to that, because, like, I first saw this movie, like, when we were in high school. Mm-hmm. I think my dad might have had the DVD, and I tried watching it, and I got about, like, 20 minutes into it, and I was like, boring! This sucks! And I turned it off. So I didn't really sit down and watch it for the first time until, like, maybe last year.
Yeah.
So, and I was able to appreciate it a lot more. But at the same time, like, there are people who say, like, this is the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, I actually saw that in trivia where, like, I guess, like,
it's very highly, like, regarded as a classic, which
and I guess
it is, but
it has to, like, it's being shown, like, across, like, at, like, film school and stuff. I don't know if I would go that far. I mean, I feel like a lot of people probably have, like, rose-tinted glasses for this, because it's not only Jack Nicholson, but it's a noir film, and I feel like anything like that instantly, like, I mean, I'm somebody that likes that stuff, but, like, I'm not going to sit here and just, like, say this is the greatest shit ever just because it's noir, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm coming off saying this movie sucks. It doesn't at all. It's a great film. It's, I feel like it kind of suffers because of that, like, 1970, like, the 70s kind of, like, shooting style, because, like, the farther you go back, every single era has, like, a different way that they also shoot, and, like, I feel like this film is definitely slower, and as far as just in general, like, things are unfolding and stuff, and that's how it is, but, like, compare that to a film that is a noir film that was made today, it would probably be a lot quicker. And even, like, you look at, like, the Maltese Falcon, where it's like, I mean, it just has a different feel than something like, you know, Maltese Falcon or, you know, Abbott and Costello meet like Frankenstein, because those are in the same, like, around the same era, you know, like, it's just different. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me it helped seeing it for the second time because the plot is pretty complicated, and if you miss a detail, you may not like it's pretty confusing. So
yeah,
I think seeing it the second time was beneficial for me because like I could
right. You could
really
just kind of
watch
watch it and be like, oh, okay. Whereas like this time I was like I just stopped taking notes at some point in this film because I was like, I just gotta pay attention to this fucking film. I can't take notes because fucking like, you know what I mean? It's.
But I think now that I think about it, that's one of the coolest things about this movie is like there are things that are happening that you have no idea why they're happening, but it'll pay off later. Like when he asks for the guy's business card and he takes a whole bunch of them. You're like, why the hell did he do that? And there's all kinds of little things like that happen that you'll understand later, but it kind of forces you to pay real close attention.
Yeah. So
that's cool, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's something that's just in the film, which is fine. Like that's definitely not an issue I had with this film at all. That's part of the whole like.
Wow, what a concept! The film respects its audience. Can't believe it.
Well, they didn't respect my time, so. Let's get to some trivia here. Actually, we got some funny stuff here with Roman Polanski and the cast. Apparently, they did not get on very well. So at one point, Roman Polanski and Jack Nicholson got into such a heated argument that Polanski smashed Nicholas's portable television with a mop. Nicholson used to watch the LA Lakers basketball games and kept stalling shooting.
Don't mess with the Lakers.
I know, right?
In front of Jack.
Faye Dunaway and Roman Polanski were notorious for their on-set arguments as well. During filming, Polanski pulled out some strands of Dunaway's hair. On another occasion, when she asked what her character's motivation was, he exploded. Just say the fucking words! Your salary's your motivation! I'm like, Jesus.
I like that answer.
Yeah, it is.
I like that. I'm going to use that.
I like that. Oh, God. Okay, so apparently there is a rumor that went around this was actually, like, going to be a trilogy, because there are, like, two of these. There's this one, and then there's the two Jakes. And the supposed third part never, obviously doesn't existed, but it doesn't existed. But certain elements and details of the story, like a corrupt company called Cloverleaf trying to like buy up all public transportation in order to replace it with freeways, would later end up being used in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which was a film noir homage of Chinatown. So the interesting thing about the trilogy concept is that they focused on the three things that were instrumental in making Los Angeles what would make it grow, which is the water, real estate, and transportation. So I thought that was pretty cool. I had to give a shout out to probably one of my favorite films of all time. Not probably, it is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Classic.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all the trivia I have here. So, but it's some funny stuff. Well, that one wasn't funny; it was informational. But
you think Faye Dunaway and Jack Nicholson got along in that scene where he like punched her in the face for real?
Yeah, I actually had a trivia thing about that, but I didn't include it. But I guess we can go over it now. Where
that like blew me away.
Yeah,
like
where essentially like she asked him to hit her and was like, it wasn't like looking, I guess, real, and she was like, just fucking knock me the fuck out, like beat the shit out of me, and I guess he did, and he felt like super horrible about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He was
that's something you wouldn't see these days, for sure.
Yeah, and he was just kind of like, I feel so bad, I'm so sorry, and I guess it was like kept in because it looks so real, because it was. Because at the very end of the fucking film, he just fucking UFC's her ass. Like Brock Lesnar's her. I'm like, Which is why, like, later on in the film, when he goes to, like, Polly's house and he had fucking hit his wife, he didn't say a damn thing because he just got done beating the fuck out of another woman. I was like, okay.
Forget it. It's Chinatown.
Yeah. Which apparently in the original, like, book or whatever, or, you know, script, fucking, they never even went to Chinatown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they barely go through it here. 2 hours and 10 minutes in, and they finally go into Chinatown in this film. Chinatown essentially has nothing to do with this film. True. So we've got some cool homages, though, at the beginning of this film. They have, like, sepia credits. The only thing they didn't do was go full, like, Maltese Falcon and, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, where, like, the credits would literally just be, like, static images that would fade into the next thing. Like, that seemed to be, like, a thing they used to do back in the day, probably to cut down on costs, and it was just easier. This one, they do, like, a scrolling up credit thing, but it's, like, all the credits are at the beginning of the film, but then they also are at the end, too, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, I know you're a stickler for opening credits. I was wondering what your take was going to be.
It was cool. It was just, yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, cool. I think
the score is really awesome.
Yes. Yeah, it's...
in this movie.
Yeah. I don't know. The more we talk about this, I might change my mind about it. We'll see.
Jerry Goldsmith did the score, the legend, who also did the Star Trek themes.
The Star Trek. Legendary.
The disgraced Jerry Goldsmith.
Speaking of whining, Burt Young is whining after seeing his wife with another man. Pics.
Yeah, were you happy to see Polly?
Of Jack. Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Back?
Burt Young is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Another...
Though he kind of is playing the same character as Polly in this
I'm pretty
movie.
sure that's all he ever plays, because he even played that character in Excessive Force.
Yeah, that's right.
He was like a complete puss. He's like, she's ruined!
Scumbag.
She's ruined! She's not a virgin! And then fucking the ADR's like, he's like, whoa! It turns into like R2-D2 or whatever when he gets fucking shocked. He's like, whoa!
He turns into a manimal.
Yeah. He's like, we are VR troopers. It's like, what? Yeah, so, like, as soon as I heard him, like, whining, I was like, oh my god.
That's really weird.
He's like, like, when he finds out his wife was getting fucking porked by another dude. Also, like, the pictures, like, he got of this was, like, the perfect pics. He was just, like, was he, like, standing right next to them when they took them?
Yeah.
Like, didn't fucking see him or hear him?
How did they not see him?
Yeah.
Like, they're looking in the, like, same direction.
Yeah, he's, like, in this movie, like, he's the master. He's, like, the Solid Snake of this film. He's, like, slithering around, getting pics of everything. So one of the cool things, harkening back to what you were talking about earlier, that he does, is in his glove box, he has, like, a ton of watches. And so, like, you're like, what the fuck does he have all those in there for? And so, like, he winds it up, he sets it at the same time his watch is, and winds it up, and puts it under this dude's tire, because he's like, I'm not going to stay here all night, and, like, and so he puts it under the tire, and then so it's smashed, so he knows when he left. And it's like...
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
I was like, what the hell, dude? Like, who would have thought to do that? That's so cool. But it's
those
like...
little details.
Awesome. The kind of stuff that, like, somebody that's been doing it for a long time and would have these, like, small tricks of the trade that, like, he uses and stuff. This is obviously before, like... this is before portable cell phones and all this crap. Like, if you want to make a call, you gotta actually go to a person's house or, like... that kind of a thing. So it was just kind of like, yeah. So, we've got, like, a joke in this that I didn't really understand, and I'm not going to recite the joke because it's a racist joke, but the punchline is screwing just like a Chinaman, and then Jack I guess his name's Jake in this, like JJ Jake or whatever. But he thought it was like funny as hell, like he was like straight up jokering it, and I like didn't get it. Like I didn't get like the joke at all. Like, did you get it or?
No, I don't think you're supposed to get it. I don't think like
it was just like the straight up a way for him to say Chinaman, and like laugh at the fact that it was an Asian dude. I guess I don't know. I didn't get it, but he was laughing. The whole punchline of the whole thing though was that like his client was behind him, like this woman, and he's telling this disgustingly lewd joke in front of his like associates, like his essentially his business partners and friends, and like. He tells this joke and then he's done with it, like laughing, and he's like, "Oh shit." But
yeah, Roger Ebert pointed that out, and we can talk about his review. But like, it's one of the things that just makes it just adds to the richness of the character. Yeah,
it's just so weird that like I agree. I just thought it was so weird because it was like, what the fuck?
He turns into the Joker.
Well, like the joke makes absolutely zero sense. Like he completely tells the joke correctly, I'm sure, but like he thought it was funny, but I was like, I'm pretty sure this is just a way for this character to be racist. But anyway,
I think you're right.
What did he say about it?
The movie in general?
Yeah.
He loved it. He gave it 4 stars. He had it as the number 2, his second favorite movie of that year. He actually wrote 2 reviews of it because, like, for all of his favorite movies, he went back like decades later and rewrote another review. So, for him, it was a classic.
But not a single review for Ernest, huh?
What's up with that?
No, he's a fucking asshole. What was his first movie that year?
Scenes from a Marriage, which I'm not familiar with that one.
Fuck off. So do you like when the one dude Mulray dies and they find him? He's like, his eyes are bugging out like that dude that when Undertaker got beat at WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar.
Nice.
He was like, oh my god, like he fucking like died in his fucking eye. I was like, why the fuck were his eyes popping out? Because, like, you find out he dies because he was, like, drowned. But, like, do your eyes pop out when you drown? Like, what? He was like, ah! And I was like,
Did he turn into a fake-looking dummy?
Yeah, seriously. And
I just think it was, like, a poorly made dummy.
Yeah, he was like, eyes be bugging.
It's like something you'd see in, like, someone's haunted house they made in their garage.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? Why are his eyes bugging like this? It was funny. It was really good. So I've just got I don't know. I've got a couple notes. I didn't write too many notes, like I said, because I just kind of watched it.
I have a bunch, actually. So
yeah, nice.
We flip-flopped this week.
I know, right? And not because I didn't, like I said, not because I was like, fuck this. I just was kind of like, I don't really have anything to say here. Like, what am I going to say? Fucking...
He's still investigating.
Yeah, he's watching this guy. Oh, he's watching him now, and he took a picture of a guy. It's like, okay. We got some like there. He's sneaking around and trying to get back to where the body was found, and he almost like drowns because this water comes in and like sweeping against the fence, and then like 5 seconds later, this dude like cuts the shit out of his nose. Which
I think that's the iconic scene from this movie.
Yeah.
That effect, man, that was a great effect. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It was CGI.
Well, obviously.
Like, I freeze framed it, and it looks super real. So, very well done.
Yeah, it's pretty out of control, because he puts, like, a switchblade knife in the guy's nose. Well, in Jack's nose. And,
that was Roman Polanski, by the way.
Oh, that they cut his nose?
Yeah.
They were like, get out of here, you fucker. He's like, they put, like, a knife in his nose and, like, cut one of his nostrils. So
it's gotta hurt.
Yeah. Interesting. Here's another trick of the trade. You can't check out a book, so just grab a ruler and line it up to where you want to rip the thing out, and and cough when you're like ripping out the page. So
that was such a
that's
great
legit.
scene because the clerk or whatever at the Hall of Records is like a little twerp.
He's a weasel, as he said.
Yeah.
Well, it's like not like the guy. I mean, the guy is like a nerd, but like he's an asshole. He's like if like you put
Just following the rules.
well if you put
Just
like
doing as he's told.
you put the assholeness of like a jock like bully into the body of a fucking like nerd. It was like what? This guy's got a chip on his shoulder for no fucking reason. Maybe he's getting his ass beat every day. I don't know. But like he was a complete asshole to like this dude that came in like looking for help, Jack. And he's just like Jesus. We got a complete 3-on-1 ass beating here. By maybe it could have been a 4-on-1 actually. Jack Nicholson gets his ass beat 3-on-1, and
In the Orange Grove.
Yeah, it's a handicap match
Groves.
with a handicap guy that had like a fucking one crutch. So it was like literally like he was getting his ass beat by two dudes. Well, maybe two dudes, and then one dude fucking was hitting him with a cane, and it's like, okay, this is a fucking ass beating.
That reminded me of one time when I was doing work in California, like right in that area. I was looking for like the job site, and I got lost. And I was in the orange groves like that, like on dirt roads. And I think that was may be like the most scared I've ever been in my life. It's like I'm sure all kinds of shady stuff happens, you know,
Orange
out there. And I
shoes
was like,
yeah,
malicious. But luckily, I didn't get beat with a crutch.
Yeah, that's true. Yet. Depends on what your review on some of these films are going to be.
Were you happy to see Lo Pan in this movie?
Yeah. So fucking, he shows up as the, I guess like the main butler or whatever to like Faye Dunaway's character.
Yeah. James Hong.
Yeah.
Another legend.
Legend as hell.
He's like, Seinfeld, 4?
His biggest role to date. So there's a nursing home brawl and an escape, which was another reason that or there's another, not another reason, but like it's another like, you know, like if they had grabbed him, he probably would have been killed there. They were shooting the fuck at the car as they were leaving. And it's like this one dude like never shows up again. This guy that cuts his nose, he's like a fucking little twerp or something, like a little fucking asshole gangster guy. But like he just after this nursing home thing, he just is gone. He's out of the film. So
yeah, that was surprising because like these, you know, the people who are after Jake, you think like they're just trying to rough him up or like, you know, talk to him, but like then they're trying to kill him.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's after they warned him the one time. He's, you know, they literally gonna kill him now. So it's like, okay, holy shit. Yeah, so that was out of control. He finds out some information there, which is pretty key. And like then they go home to like clean, I guess, or to hang out, and like he cleans up his nose, and then like as he unveils it, fucking, and he's cleaning it, like, or they're going to, like, they're gonna make love, and they do, and then after the sex, Jack puts his pants on without any boxers or briefs, so I guess he just free balls.
You see some Jake butt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like legit Jack Nicholson's ass. So if you want to see his butt or Faye Dunaway's like boobs, watch this movie.
Put that on the poster.
Yeah, well, gotta throw something in there for the ladies or the women or whoever. So this also like plays into like his exhaustion kind of in this film, because like just when he's like he gets home, you know, he takes a shower, he gets dressed to like go to bed, and right when he lays down, he gets like a phone call, and it's like, oh my god, dude, that sucks.
Yeah. I hear you.
And Jack, like we already went over that. Jack beating the hell out of his fucking this lady Faye, and that was it was an ass beating. So
Yeah, it's shocking to watch for sure.
yeah, but something
Don't
that's
see that too often.
something that's more shocking is that Faye Dunaway's character was incested by her dad, Noah Cross.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you know about that?
No, I had no. I mean, I didn't know anything about this film at all before I watched it.
Yeah, it's like a shocking twist.
It's also like revealed kind of like when he like kind of it's like the dad just is like I have nothing to apologize for, and I was like, what the fuck?
Like I'm all about it.
And you kind of find out that like he's also been the one that's like hiring these guys to like essentially like chase after like stop Jake from like doing some shit, and like he's like sends the thugs to like get him, and then like eventually just almost be like fuck it, kill him, and like because he's just trying to get like his he says granddaughter, but it's his fucking like actual daughter because it's his daughter and his is fucking like daughter.
It's her daughter and her sister.
Yeah, and it's like, okay.
It's the baby, it's the boy.
As soon as like she said that, she kept going back and forth. I was like, and then and then she was like told about like, hey, it was fucking incested. Like he was like, okay, well I did call the cops, but I'm actually gonna like I'm gonna let you go now. Cause you got fucking raped. So yeah, at the end of this film though, it was like, holy shit. Like, cause I mean, this whole thing spoilers, but at the end of this film, she's essentially like telling her dad like fuck off, and they're just gonna escape to Mexico, and like her and her daughter, and like she's like driving away after she shoots her father in the shoulder, and like the police officers are shooting at her and like plug her in the fucking head and kill her instantly, and it's like
that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown, and that's like the end essentially. Yeah, it's like the only one of these I like mysteries I've ever seen really where like there's no arrest for the culprit at the end. It's just the police kill.
Yeah, and the leading lady, the final shot is her big hole in her head.
Police kill like essentially an innocent person, and the fucking film's over.
Yeah, I think that's one of the like reasons this movie became so like legendary, maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you kill somebody at the end of a fucking film and it's one of the main characters, they eat that shit up, dude. I'm sure in art school and film school, they're like, it's brave. Not like I'm trying to shit on it, but
honestly,
yeah, I was kind of like, oh wow. That's actually one of the things about this film that like Jack Nicholson's gone on record to say he didn't like about this film was the ending. Which
I can see that. I mean, it's
pretty.
It's a crazy ending.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh." He's like, "You believe in this shit?" So what were some of your notes for this?
So I had a few more notes. Did you notice that one of Jack Nicholson's like assistants is played by Bruce Glover, aka Mr. Wint from Diamonds Are Forever?
I did not know that because I've only seen that shitty film one time.
One of the greatest henchmen of all time.
We're gonna have to watch that. We're gonna have to watch that again just so we can go over.
I don't think we.
I mean, I'm assuming eventually
so inappropriate.
What we should do is do a thing where we go through all the Bond films, starting at Dr. No, and just go through all of them again, like one each week. But that would take forever. But it would be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is like one of super inappropriate fucking depictions of homosexuals in that film.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, sir.
I had another note. This movie makes me want to smoke.
Yes,
there's so much smoking.
So
in this
like,
movie.
yeah, definitely. In this is the time where like everybody smoked. Even to the point of like, people are just like doing it like wherever. It's like, okay, dude, like Jesus Christ, pretty out of control. But I mean, that's how it was back in the day. It was like smoking was the thing to do, and that's just what it was.
Yeah, that's another thing that Roger Ebert called out is like every detail of this movie is like perfect. Like there's nothing out of place. It's like one of the ultimate period movies.
Nothing's out of place. Nothing's out of place.
At one point, I don't know why this is funny to me, but they're talking about the homeless person who was found drowned under like in the L.A. River. Mm-hmm. Jack Nicholson's like, he was soused.
Did he?
I just thought souse is a funny.
Oh.
Like a funny way to describe that man. He's a soused, or he was soused. Cracked me up.
Soused. Oh, okay.
Have you heard that before?
Soused.
It's like a term for like
drunk.
a drunk.
I was soused to the eyeballs. I've never heard of that before.
Or you can call someone a souse too if someone's like a boozer. Like he's a souse.
What the fuck? I've never heard of that before. Souse.
Now you know.
Pickle. To plunge in liquid, immerse, drench. To make drunk. An act of sousing. Wedding. A habitual drunkard. A drinking spree. See binge. Oh, man.
Going on a souse.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I was, like, more occupied with the weird fucking draining and gurgling noises in that funeral home, or, like, not the funeral home, but the thing. It was like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what's going on?
The morgue?
Now? Yeah, I was like, okay.
Like, you don't want to know.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought, just, like, the dialogue, especially, like, Jack Nicholson's like insults and sarcastic comments were so good.
Oh, yeah.
Like the writing in this movie is top notch, and it won the Oscar for best screenplay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This movie was nominated for 11 Oscars, but it only won one.
Oh, what a fucking loser!
This sucks, loser.
Damn, dude. What were the other things it was nominated for?
Best Picture, Best Actor for Nicholson,
Yeah.
Best Actress for Dunaway, Best Director, Best Cinematography, Best Art Decoration, Best Costume, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, and Best Score. Pretty much everything.
Yeah. What, like, beat it for, like, costume?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
That's kind of
I
shocking.
don't have that at my fingertips.
Not that, like, none of the other, but, like, that's the one thing that I would think, like, there's, I mean, this was, like you said, like, regardless of how I felt about, like, watching it the first time was,
The Great Gatsby.
Oh, okay. You know what's funny is, like, the dude that wrote the screenplay for this was first hired to write a screenplay for The Great Gatsby, but he turned it down, being like, I can't do anything, I can't write a better screenplay than the book, you know what I mean, for Great Gatsby, so I want to do my own thing, and so he, I guess, did this. But way less money. But I guess he just wanted to not try to, like, he knew he couldn't do any better, or I guess he thought he couldn't, but I think that this proves that he probably could have.
Yeah, it looks like for most of the others, like, this came out the same year as Godfather 2, and I think that won all of them.
Oh, yeah. You know how people like them, you know,
yeah,
crime dramas with gangsters and stuff. I know how you kids like them sloppy. So,
yeah, I really like this movie. Like I said, I enjoyed it a lot more the second time because I first saw it like maybe a year or two ago. So it grew on me for sure. I don't I think there's 100 better movies out there, but it's still a really good movie. So
only 100, huh?
And no more and no less.
100 will be the number of the counting. 104 is right out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think, like, I started, like, I'm not trying to say, like, I disliked this movie at all. Like, it was, I think it was just, it's definitely one of those things where, yeah, I don't know, because this movie does have pretty much everything that I would like in a film. It's just...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time I was watching it.
Maybe it's just kind of slow, like, for me. I don't know why. Like I said, maybe if I watch it again, I would feel differently. Yeah. But, yeah. Good film.
Good pick.
Yeah. Good pick. Which week? Actually, it was Detective Week. So next week, speaking of which, unless you have anything else to say.
That's it.
Okay, I don't want to hear a single word from you then. You're like, yee! So next week for Weird Watches, it's my pick, right? I think. Yeah, because we just did
Yep.
Yellowstone. So next week, have you ever watched Justified at all?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna watch the first episode of Justified. It's supposed to be like I think like a cowboy kind of thing or something. I don't know. So I guess we'll kind of continue with the Wild West dealio possibly here. So it's
Cool.
a Western crime drama series. So yeah, that'll be next week for Weird Watches, and then for next week's main event, the feature presentation, we're finally getting around to the nomination that we got. I think it was like 6 or 8 more months ago from Protocaster Andrew is James Gunn's Suicide Squad. We were gonna originally watch it when it came out, but just like Dune, it went off of HBO. Well, I guess Dune wasn't on HBO Max, was it? Yeah, it was. Never mind. It went off of there, but like James, I guess Suicide Squad's back on HBO, so we can watch it without having to, pay for it. So, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, was make sure that we got that in. And then next week,
Let me ask,
yes,
what
sir?
quote unquote buddy picked this movie?
I already said. You weren't listening? I said
I missed it.
Protocaster Andrew. God. No, Protocaster Andrew. He nominated it like essentially when this film came to HBO Max, and then it got picked like I think like it got picked on like you picked it the number the week after, or like a whatever after like it was off the thing, and I like looked and I was like, okay, well I'm not gonna have us watch this movie. It's like $20 to just rent right now or something. So I'm gonna wait till it comes back, and then I had that and Dune on the list for when they came back. So this one is back, and instead of picking a different movie to watch, like out of the Buddy Boys picks, we're gonna do the backlog one here, and then the week after that we'll do what you pick. So
Better be good.
I know what you pick better be good, or it's gonna be problems. No, yeah, hopefully this is good. I mean, I've heard good things about it. I honestly couldn't be any worse than like the original Suicide Squad that I watched and was like, fuck. Didn't you see like Justice League in theaters or something?
I saw Suicide Squad in theaters, and I wanted my money back.
Did you commit Suicide Squad?
I should have.
Like
I would have preferred that.
You committed Suicide Squad by getting together a team of like bad people and made them do good things or kill them. You're like, I'm gonna commit a Suicide Squad. It's like, what? Yeah, no. So yeah, I've got higher hopes for this, because I mean, like I said, it can't be any worse than like the corporate meddling debacle that was Suicide Squad, because that film got like butchered, and then it also like just had such a fucked up like thing from the beginning. So this one was like straight up all James Gunn. Like he wrote this and he directed it, so
Right.
Like we
Only
say,
one way to find out.
yeah, it could be bad, it could be good. It's just one of those things where I'd rather watch a movie like that won. Like I'd rather watch A Million Tusks than watch like a film like, even though I really didn't like Tusk, like Kong versus Godzilla, where it was like a committee movie. You know what I mean? Like at least Kevin Smith fucking, that was his vision. So we will see. And they've also got that John Cena Peacemaker show that just came out, so we'll see. I fucked up. I should have nominated that as Weird Watches. Get some fucking overload. Or like overchode. So, do you have anything else to say, brother?
No, I think nailed it.
Hell yeah. It was. I think we kept this at a svelte hour around here, it looks like. And also, everybody, if you're a Buddy boy and you want to be a Bengal boy, hope the Bengals win this weekend, and all the people that would give them a better thing lose. So I guess until next time. Yeah, it's a big game. I don't know. That's about it. Until next time, we will see you for Justified and James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
Bye.
Jesus!